Good to see everybody again. Y'all need to be really happy. It's Christmas time. We've got a lot to go.
Put your mic on?
I don't know, is it?
Oh, never mind. Well, that was yours.
Say what, sir? Okay. Bob, is there something I'm...
No, I thought it was on the table.
Can y'all hear me real good?
Yes, sir.
How about that? Okay, good. Well, we got lots to go over today, and like I said, it's a great day in West Virginia. I'm going to start with a class, and I want to just talk to you just a second about this. But there's an effort that we make through our National Guard every year, and we bring young kids in on a purely voluntary basis that have probably lost their way a little bit. And our National Guard does an incredible job in educating these kids and getting them back on their feet, getting them going in a really good way. Now imagine this. They have a 91% graduation class or basis that are graduating with a high school diploma. Not only that, in the very near future, we're going to be able to add an extra year beyond their graduation high school diploma for an extra year of vocational training. You know, in the state of West Virginia today, if you were to say to me, okay, really, what do we need to do? You know, we've got lots and lots and lots of things to do. You know, whether it be combat this terrible drug epidemic or whatever it may be. You know, but we've absolutely got to do the things like we've got to build roads. We've got to make things better for our people and their standard of life. We absolutely have got to combat this terrible drug epidemic, and that's all there is to that. We've got to have a workforce. We've got to have a real live workforce. And we've got to some way, and we're doing all these things, we've got to some way extinguish this stigma that's always been there about West Virginia. And it all starts, in my opinion, with the foundation of it being education. So if you'll just think, we can do lots of stuff, but if we'll have good roads and good schools with teachers that feel motivated and feel like they're paid correctly and all that kind of stuff, and we'll have a real workforce, so many of the other things will just fall into place. You better listen to me, because I've got a lot of white hair, and really and truly I know what I'm talking about. This part right here with the Mountaineer Challenge Program, Class 51. It's the 51st class. That's these guys. So if y'all would come forward, let's give them a giant round of applause, because they deserve that in every way. I'm going to shake all your hands. Congratulations. Congratulations. Great job. Great job. Way to go. Way to go. Really proud of each and every one of you. So, whoa. See, you're marching a lot better than I am. So do this. Come up here around me, and let's get our picture made right up here. How about that? I'm getting this out of the way for a second. You guys come here. Some on this side, some on that. Let me stand in the middle. How's that sound? Why is it all the girls on one side and all the boys on the other? Now let me say one last thing. 4,000 kids have graduated from this program. There can't be a better program in West Virginia than just this. You don't know how proud I am of each and every one of you, and how proud our state is, and how now you are becoming the young people that are going to lead us, the workforce. You're going to be the stars. That's all there is to it. Just the other day, believe it or not, I was you. So go do it. I'm proud of each and every one of you. God bless you. Now, unless there's something else I'm missing, y'all quit standing up here being hams all day long. Go, get. Proud of you. Way to go. That's really great right there, guys. There ain't any part of this today that's going to be better than that. They just can't be. Okay. Let me see now. Okay. We have a position of the Executive Director of the Office of Minority Affairs. And we've looked to try to find the lady that not only was the most qualified, but the lady that had fire in her belly. You know, a fire to go and really do good work. Well, we found her. And then some way encouraging her to come, it was the next part. We didn't have to really encourage too awful much because she was willing. Her husband is a great, great veteran that has a commitment and has done stuff for this country that's unbelievable. They're smart people that are absolutely right on the cusp of doing good work. Now listen, and listen to me wholeheartedly here. You know, our minority communities within this state need help. And we need to be willing to commit to doing something about it. That's all there is to it. We don't need to just have a figurehead. We don't need to just, you know, throw a few dollars at something and have no successes. We got to start having wins, because these people, in my opinion, in lots and lots of ways feel trapped. They really don't know what to do or where they can go. And we, as we're moving this state forward, don't need to leave them behind. That's all there is to it. So Jill Upton will come forward. We're going to give her a big round of applause, and she's going to take us there. This is one of our next superstars right here. So Jill, thank you so much. And go do great work now. Let me just kind of waller along behind, and you make me look good. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to have a new Secretary of Commerce today. And this is a great big job, and it needs a big man that's got a lot of vision and a lot of gumption and an absolute superstar. Now, we've looked for this a long time, and thank goodness Ed lost the election. You know, because by doing that, we were able to really entice and now get a superstar that started, and I didn't really realize this, but started his first paycheck was with our Commerce Department. Is that correct, Ed? So I truly believe you got a man with a lot of business experience, a man with a lot of vision, a man that's really, really respected around these parts. And so we're really proud to have him. And now what we got to do is just what I just told him today. I said just this. I think I may have even said this to Jill, but I absolutely said it to Ed. You know, when you're climbing a mountain and you're squirrel hunting in these hills, you know, or you're turkey hunting in these hills, a lot of times right on the top of the ridge, the most difficult place for a logger to get to, a lot of times the timber there is pretty dadgum good. And so the understory may not be thick or whatever like that, which would be more enticing maybe to deer, but I mean more, you know, if it were thicker, it would be more enticing to deer. Turkeys like it open where they can see. And squirrels like the big trees, you know, that are bearing all the fruit and everything. So a lot of times, if you were squirrel hunting or turkey hunting, like I've been many, many, many times, you'd climb those mountains. Well, when you got right near the top, it always got the steepest. It was always the steepest at the top. Now we, along the way, have done lots of things in West Virginia in the last couple of years, and we've got lots of things on the burner, whether it be the Chinese or the Cutter people or whatever, whomever it may be. The next breakthrough that's going to take West Virginia another leap forward, and we're at the part of the mountain that's the toughest. We're at the part of the mountain that's the steepest. And we need a superstar right here to help us get to the top. Because once we get to the top, I mean, this sucker's going to roll and everything. So nevertheless, if Ed come forward, we got a new Secretary of Commerce. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Okay. Very proud. Very proud. Okay. Now, let's talk, and you guys please join me. Let's talk about our revenue collections. I'm going to hit the high points, and then I'm going to leave them here, and then when we get done, maybe they can answer some of your questions and whatever. But the high points are this. November is going to come in at 18.8 million above our estimates. I don't know how many consecutive months that is, but it's a long string of W's, and that's what we want to keep stringing together. Now, for the year, we're now 141 million above estimate. And don't forget just this. That does not include the 58 million. This is above this is above not my estimates, but this is above the legislature's estimates. Is that correct? And everything. My estimate has an additional 58 million in this that really and truly, if we skid to the finish and we do not gain another dollar, we're basically picking up another 58 million. Is that not correct?
The appropriations by the legislature are $58 million below the estimates. The actual spending is $58 million below estimate, which means you can get an extra 58 million.
Yeah. So really and truly, if we don't back up anywhere between now and June 30, we're going to come up with 141 plus 58. So we're going to be right at 200 million if we don't gain another dime. So trust me, things are really good. We're moving in the right direction. There's all kinds of figures, you know, in regard to consumer sales tax and income tax collections. They were up 7.3 million. Consumer sales tax, you know, were 5.8 million above estimate, and it just goes on and on. Our severance taxes continue to be really, really strong, and that's no question that's benefiting us and benefiting us in a good way. When we go back, I guess, to construction on our pipelines and so on like that, you know, this should even rebound stronger. You know, natural gas prices are really, you know, nicely positioned right now. You just hardly can't find an area. And again, I may not be many things, but I'm a business guy, and I know what the numbers mean. And I keep telling everybody over and over and over, follow the numbers. Just follow the numbers, because everything follows the numbers. Just think about it. I'm going to make this real short and sweet. Yesterday, I was at a great announcement down at ProAct, and you know, it's a facility where people can come in, you know, for all kinds of different addiction issues and counseling and everything else, and it gives people a place to try to grow out of a problem that they're really struggling with. Now, in addition to that, Marshall University has taken a real big time lead and doing great work. We're we're trying to combat this terrible drug epidemic in every way we possibly can. Now, here's the thing though, and here's just what I told them. I said that at the end of the day, what would we do if the economy weren't growing? What would we do to combat this problem if our economy was just flat on its back? Well, the truth is it's very little. You know, it all starts with a job. It all starts with revenue. You can't fight cancer with an aspirin. You can't fight this drug problem without revenue and real life commitment. Now that's an issue that we've got to really address, and you'll hear me address it more sternfully in the state of the state, but the net of the whole thing is just this. We have every single last one of us in this room, these great cadets, these great people that are everywhere, whether they be politicians or just people of interest or business leaders or there are great media or whatever it may be. But the net of the whole thing is just this. We have got to make up our minds with all of our soul, now that we have revenues and we have our state moving, we have a job, a place for somebody that has hope that can go get a job. Now we have got to say, and y'all forgive me, but here's exactly what I said down there. I'm going to fix the damn problem. That's how we all have to believe, and that's what we got to think. It's time to fix the damn problem. That's all there is to it. And every last one of us has to be that committed, because we don't need to be the state leading the parade in overdose deaths and everything else under the sun. We have got to fix the damn problem. That's all there is to it. But these numbers are spectacular. And our state is doing unprecedented. That's all there is to it. Just think about this one, please think just about one number. The fiscal 2019 year-to-date growth number for our state is 13.2%. Now, President Trump stands up, as he should, and just touts like crazy the fact that we're 3.6, 4.1, 3.8, and annualized, we're growing in this nation at a rate of 3.8%, or they're close to it. West Virginia is West Virginia. Now, did you hear this? West Virginia is growing at 13.2% right now, annualized. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And we got lots and lots and lots of problems, and we're going to fix them because we've got a vibrant economy that's growing and getting better. We've got Jill Upton on board and Ed Gaunch on board, and we've now got people that are every day, it gives us an opportunity to get better and better and better. So that's my revenue report. I'm just going to keep on moving here because I got a bunch of stuff. I'm going to put our grants last, and these are recycling grants. And you know, I've had the opportunity to go around the state and give away recycling grants, and it's fun to do. Some of them are $10,000 and some of them are $200,000. You know, the net of the whole thing is you know, a recycling effort, we should always be behind a recycling effort. You know, a clean and beautiful West Virginia always sells us better. You know, and the recycling knowledge that our young people can have and everything makes us better. You know, it just, you know, I'll get to those last. I've got an announcement on PEIA or on the task force, and they've done great work. There's a committee, you know, right under the main task force. Has Rob gotten back? Well, let me do this. I'm going to do the grants because you may have some questions of Rob Alsop when he gets back. Let me do the grants right now. Okay, so where are they? Somebody's got them. Okay. I'm going to read the big print. It's Ed, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And Ed's going to read the small print. the Wayne County Commission to assist with installation of new fencing and a concrete pad for countywide program, for the countywide program. Is anybody here from Wayne County? Ed's gonna read.
From the Department of Environmental Protection, the 2019 Recycling Assistance Grant is awarded to Wayne County Commission. Congratulations.
If you'll come right here, so we'll get our picture. You come and hold.
Okay.
You need to look real official. That's yours. All right, sir.
Thank you very much.
No, that's great. Good news. Good news. Oh, this is also Wayne County. Come on back. $20,268 to fund personnel, fuel, utilities, maintenance, repairs, and office supplies for a countywide program. Get that out of there.
It's actually the 2019 Recycling Assistance Grant to the Wayne County Solid Waste Authority.
All right, here we go again.
Yeah.
You're getting all kinds of money today.
Sounds good.
I bet it does. Okay, great job, great job. Okay, this is Putnam County. $55,300 to assist with the purchase of a, is that, what is that?
Well, you tell me.
Destinator?
A DESTONER separation system.
Okay. Well, whatever this is, this sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff. But anyway, come on up here, please. Is there anybody from Putnam County? All right, we're going to take your money and go to Wendy's. Come on, Glenn.
I need to do a read. Just a 2019 Recycling Assistance Grant awarded to West Virginia Cash and Recyclables Incorporated for recycling efforts in West Virginia.
Way to go, sir. That's good. Good to see you, Senator. Okay, very good.
That's next.
Clay County, Salisbury Auto Salvage, $7,572 to assist with the purchase of a cardboard shredder, and on and on and on and on and on. So come on up here from Clay County. Anybody from Clay County? Come on, Roger. Our new speaker's here today. Y'all give him a big round of applause. Okay, sounds good. There you go. All right, good deal. Okay, from Cabell County, Marshall University Sustainability Department to assist with personnel, compost shredder, outdoor recycling containers, indoor compost containers, and composting bags for campus-wide recycling program. $74,800. This is yours. Way to go. Good job. Come on up. Hey, Daniel. Very good. Thank you. Okay, we got Lincoln County, $60,787.50 to assist with the compartmentalization of recycling bins, transportation costs for recyclables, insurance for carriers or containers, newspaper advertising, and so on. Daniel, come on, babe. There you go.
Thanks, sir.
Oh, thank you. All right. I'll give you that, Ed. Kanawha County Solid Waste Authority to assist with personnel, operational supplies, equipment maintenance, pole building, fuel for recycling truck, and equipment insurance. I'm not messing with you. How you do,
Thanks, sir.
No, appreciate you. Great to see all of you. Go in again. Sir, great to see you, sir. Okay.
So you're on flight?
No. No, I'm good. All right, thank y'all. Thanks, Senator. Thank you, guys. Okay, Jackson County, $75,016 to assist with personnel, fuel for vehicles, tires, building utilities, forklift truck modifications, and so on and so on. Come on up, Jackson County. Got to have somebody from Jackson County. Got to have somebody. Okay, I'm keeping the money. Okay. Habitat for Humanity of Kanawha and Putnam counties. $62,066 to assist with the purchase of a truck, truck wrap, and insurance for recycling operations. That's Kanawha and Putnam County again. Come on, Glenn, you just keep kind of getting money. Shit, gosh. Okay, Senator, how you doing? Good to see y'all. Great to see you. All right, very good. Thank you. Cabell County Goodwill Industries to assist with $63,202.99 to assist with personnel, recycling conference, utilities, truck wrap, and operational supplies. How you doing? Great to see you.
See you, thank you.
Oh gosh, way to go. Very good. Boone County, D&D Recycling, $27,505.50. I'm going to keep all these cents. To assist with the purchase of a can to sanitizer and box truck maintenance and concrete for the lot and the forklift engine. Where are we? Boone County. We'll get it to them. Okay, Clay County again. Roger, come on up here. $74,992 to assist with the purchase of a forklift, horizontal baler, utilities, and operational supplies. There you go, sir. Good deal. Cabell County again. $30,280 to assist with personnel, fuel for recycling truck, and equipment insurance. Where's Cabell County again? Daniel, come on.
We're having a good time, guys.
I like it. There you go. That's yours, baby. Okay. And last but not least, we've got to have Kanawha County back up. Recycling Coalition of West Virginia, $49,500 to assist with printing, website costs, educational papers, and so on and so on. Kanawha County will come.
Yes, sir.
Good job, sir.
Appreciate it.
Good job. Oh, come ahead, please. Y'all come on. Well, that's good. Very good. Thank y'all. Thank all of you. Ed, you take these back, and I'm going to tell you to take all this too. Okay. Oh. Let me say one thing in regard to these grants. You know, when there's a lot of them like that, you know, sometimes we can become a little complacent or think, gosh, we got to, you know, wait through all the grants. Has Rob gotten here? Okay. Well, Rob, come on up here. We may need you for some questions in regard to this. But let me go back to the grants just a second. Maybe go with that one. If you just think about it, some of those grants were $7,500, and some of them were $20,000, and some of them were a good bit more. Think about it. Just think about it. What's the difference between $7,500 and $75 million other than a bunch of zeros if you just think about the importance of really what $7,500 meant to some people. And when we lose focus with that, we got a problem. I'll promise you this, I've had the opportunity to run all kinds of different businesses. Some of them you were making trades that were hundreds of millions of dollars. And some of them you were selling sweet corn or Christmas trees. But you've got to be able to put the focus on what you're doing just as much, whether it be big or it be smaller, because it is just as important to whomever is receiving. So, and think about one other thing. Think about the multiplier effect of the dollars. For every dollar, I'll promise you, every dollar means there's a multiplier effect of that dollar of between 8 and 14 times. Now, we gave away probably well in excess of $1 million here, maybe even something approaching $1.5 million today. The multiplier effect of that is 8 to 14 times that. Now, when that happens, all of a sudden, all kinds of things start to happen. They start with a job. They start with buying big gulps that I've said over and over to 7-Eleven. They go on and on and on and on and on. It's what drives our economy. So these grants are really important. So I'd like you one more time to give everybody a big round of applause that received them and tell them Godspeed. Okay, now if I could just talk about one last thing, and then we'll take your questions, or try to as best we can. But now I've lost my one last thing. So Ed, you got to bring me my one last thing back. It's in the pile of stuff that you just took off with. It's the PEI stuff. All right, very good. Okay, today, and Rob, I want to make sure that I know your committee's name correctly. Is
Policy and coverage.
Policy and coverage. Okay, I made recommendations to the Policy and Coverage Committee. And they took those recommendations, my recommendations today, and basically they were just this. You know, within PEIA, if I could stay at the 1,000 foot or the 100,000 foot level, here's the deal. PEIA for the last X number of years has become not just unstable, but very unstable. There's been a lot of people that have worked in government that took a job thinking that they maybe weren't paid the highest, but took a job thinking, well, they got great benefits, and those benefits were really, really, really important. Now, all of a sudden, their benefits started eroding from the standpoint of the cost surely started to climb. And we all know healthcare costs are a real challenge, big time challenge. And whether it be the subcommittee today or the task force themselves, these people are really trying, and they're really trying hard. Now, within that, if you'll just step back from it and you'll just think, well, what are things that are really important to people? You know, West Virginia, we're eat up with border counties. And the problem is just this, everybody maybe possibly has a doctor that's right across over there, and they want to be able to go over there, but they're honestly, it's been prohibitive for them to be able to go over there. Well, it's been my recommendation to lift that, and we have, or at least we're going to make that recommendation to the task force. Is that correct? You know, there's so many other aspects here, and so I'm going to read through just this, and there's 5 or 6 bullet points, but my recommendations were to move Plan A benefits back to 80-20 co-insurance in West Virginia external bordering counties only. Now, move Plan B benefits back to 70-30 co-insurance in West Virginia bordering counties. Gosh, I can't believe it. Okay. Remove facility fee limits from out-of-state facilities. Remove the $25 copay for out-of-state services. Add an appeal process for people requiring a third-tier preferred drug to allow for reduced copays. Non-preferred drug, I'm sorry, to allow for reduced copays. And I asked the coverage committee to review the wellness plans that, that we, not the Go 365, but we need to at least review the possibility of having a wellness program, because it helps all of us, me included. It could really help me. So the long and the short of it is just this. And whether it be external, I got the word right finally, but nevertheless, here's the deal. You've got 2 or 3 years ago, PEI really shaky. 2 or 3 years ago, well, when I got here, everybody thought there was going to be no recourse but to go to a across-the-board 70-30 plan. Now, if you're making $40,000 a year and your insurance premiums go up and up and up and up, it's tough stuff. That's all there is to it. Now, when you took a job in government, you took a job for passion. Let me just use teachers. They love what they're doing. When I went around on all these listening tours, all I heard was basically just this: we love what we're doing. We love our kids. But really and truly, we've got problems, whether they be the A through F situation, or the over-testing situation, or all the different, or we're not really very appreciated, and our benefits are eroding like crazy, and all those issues. That's the story here. The story is really just this. When I went out, before I guess I was elected, and did these listening tours, you saw a lot of people that were very, very demotivated and upset with what they were doing, or how they felt like that but all the people, all of us perceived what they were doing. So you've got a demotivated workforce. You've got a real issue. And so we had to do something. Now, I really believe when they exercised their rights that they did down here last year, I thought I was good with every bit of it. Because to tell you the truth, that's our rights in this country. And by doing so, it helped all of us even more. But at the end of the day, you had a lot of people that were probably, a lot of rocks were thrown at that really may have been still just digging and still helping. And I'm not going to get into all the politics of the whole situation, but here's the real nitty-gritty. You had an unstable situation in PEIA. Today, you don't have a final solution, but you've got a stable situation in PEIA today. You have got to where we are on solid ground for X number of years with our commitment that we've just recently made to put $100 million aside in PEIA, and with our commitment to reinvest in education and make a real commitment to invest in education and do another 5% pay raise, not only for education, but for our wonderful police force, for all the great people that are working in government. It is a commitment that we need to make and we need to do. And we've said we're going to do it, and we need to move right ahead and do it. Now, but today, we're able to do even more. We're able to maybe take off the barriers, to be able to go right across the river, to be able to go to your doctor across the river and eliminate these copays and these penalties and so on like that that have been just right over our heads. In other words, to do one thing, and that is to give the person that is doing great government work, whether it be teaching or our state police or the people that are just working as our custodians right here and doing great work. We're going to give them just this, and that is the ability to sit back in their chair after they've done a hard day's work and relax and not worry. You see, that's a giant, giant asset in life, to just be able to have peace of mind. So the net of the whole thing is just that. Now, we've still got work to do. Task force is going to continue to do good work. They've done good work. We've made recommendations, and we're stable. Now, that's not the lifelong answer, but it's a heck of a lot better than where we were. But that's all I've got for today. I'll be more than glad to answer questions as best I can. I'm going to use the resources that I've got available to me here too. Just remember this last statement, last thing. This state has always been thought of as, I mean, we know how good we are, but we've always been thought of as dark and dingy and maybe ignorant and backward and all that kind of stuff. Where do we need to take head on the very first thing? Education. It's the very thing, guys. That's the very thing we need to do first, education. I'm going to tell you just this, and you can mark it down. If you've got a workforce and you've got great schools and you've got teachers that are motivated and teachers that feel like we're behind their effort and everything else, and you've got truly good roads, you're on your way. That's all there is to it. You're on your way. Now, the net of the whole thing is with that and on our way, the number one thing we've got to combat is the drugs. Now, we get that done, the rest of it is just window dressing. That's all there is to it. It's just stuff that will fall right in line. We'll take your questions. If you got it, what have you got?
Governor, we've been nagging you for months about when there's going to be a new Commerce Secretary. What took so long, and what were you looking for, and generally, what do you hope to accomplish?
Well, what took so long is just this. I mean, you know, to find who we wanted in the private sector today, just to tell it like it is, there's two really big deterrents. One is the wage that you're able to pay, and two is probably more so than that, is just, you know, there's a lot of people that throw rocks at these people all the time. And if you're bebopping along and you got a pretty good thing going in private business today, you know, you may not want somebody looking over your shoulder every 5 minutes about every single thing you do. So finding that person is not easy. You know, you just can't, you know, post a job and have 50 great applicants coming right out of private business that are going to run and want that job. Now, the other thing is this: I didn't want to just take somebody off the street that was just okay just to fill the job, because some way, somehow, we've kept things moving along and moving along well, and we've got lots and lots and lots of things that are happening. You know, to have Mike Graney was a big one. That was big. And Mike Graney will really help us with economic development, and he'll do a great job. But I really believe, you know, unlike fine wine, contracts don't get better with time. But really and truly, if you want fine wine, you really generally have to wait just a little while to make sure you're right. And when Ed became available, it just, all the things just started coming into place. You know, we looked really hard. This isn't something we just kind of sat around and done nothing on. We've looked hard. But we just haven't been able to find a man of Ed's quality, in my opinion, period. You know, and I know he's just going to do a great job.
You think it'll help him that he got to see some of the warts on the Commerce Department from his work on the Flood Committee? Sure.
You know, I will say this, you know, and this is not in defense of anything, but I think if you were really fair, really objectively fair, you would see that when we paused or stopped just to get our arms around what was going on, the net result, the ending net result has been way, way, way better than if we would have just kept plowing. And so Ed has so much inside knowledge plus a real business background that he'll do good. And we've become real friends over the years, and I think we'll bingo off one another really well. You see, this is right in my wheelhouse. I mean, this is business, this is attracting, this is marketing, this is all the stuff that I do. And so I think we'll do really well together.
One of the mandates of the PEIA task force was to identify a dedicated revenue source of about $50 million a year of new funding for PEIA. It looks like the task force will complete its work next week without meeting that mandate. Is there a plan B for the funding other than the $100 million?
Well, Phil, let me say this, that finding a dedicated source, you know, was a task that I'm sure that they took really very seriously. At the end of the day, you know, here's how I see it. And again, I could pass you off to Rob, and Rob could give you a great answer on that and everything. But well, let me do that, and then let me come back to me. And Rob, you go with that in the beginning.
Sure. So there were several parts of PEI we were looking at overall from that perspective. From the policy and coverage committee, we were cognizant of the sandbox we were to play in, and we heard from what was over 20 public hearings across the state. We heard a lot of concerns from a lot of citizens on the border issue or the drug issues with PEI, administrative issues, and then funding issues. And we took a hard look at each of those. I think the governor's point about stability is really well taken, and then the commitment for the $100 million really solidifies PEI for the next couple of years, where we have some time to let the governor's office, governor has some time to really take a look at solidifying. The final point from my perspective is, you know, economic growth, whether it's a dedicated revenue stream or not, the real key that's going to solve PEI and funding for higher education, a whole number of other things, is the continued work on economic growth and revenue growth that you heard from today with the governor. So, you know, from my perspective, the governor's made PEI a priority, and whether it's a particularly dedicated revenue stream or a commitment to grow the economy and have revenues dedicated towards PEI, we've made a lot of progress.
Well, Rob speaks eloquently, and you know, what I was going to say, Phil, was just this. At the end of the day, you know, just finding a dedicated funding stream, you know, let's just say that tomorrow what we did, let me just give you a hypothetical. What if we just arbitrarily, as a legislature and as a governor, just decided we're going to raise the severance tax on gas? You know, because that's been the hot button all along. What if we did that and it drove our gas severance and our revenues down? What if that happened? What if basically, you know, we drove people out of the state that are buying those, you know, big gulps and paying income taxes and all the stuff that's happening here? What if we did that? Well, then all of a sudden this dedicated revenue source has really hurt us. The bottom line is just this. Our government is going to have to find a way to dedicate additional resources to preserve PEIA the way we're going. Now, whether that dedication comes from a specific source that maybe you know, the task force wasn't able to identify right now, or just a commitment from all of us that education is really important, that these people are really important. These people, to preserve their benefits, they don't need a runaway escalation in their cost and in jobs at that $40,000 level that I'm talking about. So the net of the whole thing is just this. I think I think it's high time we all have to realize that we have got to, as a government, as a state, say we're going to stand behind PEIA and we're going to stand behind it with our dollars, with our pocketbooks, and we're going to assure that it's going to be okay. Now, that's what I've really tried to do in saying we got $100 million extra money right now. Let's do a supplemental and let's put it in there right this minute. Now, and if we look like, you know, next year that we're going to have additional monies, let's put more money in it. And let's continue to do so to assure that, that those people can go home and the peace of mind be okay. Now, whether that be dedicated or not dedicated, it needs to be just this, our commitment to our teachers, to our government workers, to PEIA, that we're going to stand behind it. That's just basically it.
Governor, I know congratulations are in order for the people you've named in these positions and their families are here, but I do want to give you a chance to address this, and I'll ask her too. Mrs. Upson was involved in some controversy regarding a political action committee where she was the chairwoman. It ran a series of ads that were criticized by the NAACP. Given the nature of this new position she's in, are there fences that need to be mended?
Well, I do know, Brad, of some of that, and I would say just this, you know, whether it be the NAACP or whether it be Jill Upton, you know, we want harmony. Absolutely, we want harmony. But I can tell you just this, that just follow through with just, you know, we don't need this to be a political badminton thing. And the reason I say that is just this, is sometimes organizations, you know, organizations get set on the fact that no matter what in the world is done, we're going to stand behind the Democrats or we're going to stand behind the Republicans. We don't need to do that. We just don't need to do that. You know, Jill Upton is a superstar. Now, and here's the bottom line of the whole thing is just this, and I say this over and over. You've got people in political life that have trapped people, trapped them. And those people are dependent, and those people then have to give their vote. We've got to get out of that. We have got to give these people a chance in life. We've got to give people a chance, whether they be black or white or green or yellow or whatever it may be. We have got to give people a chance, an opportunity to grow and get out of this trap and the spin cycle that they're in. Jill Upton will do that, and that's what we need.
Governor, your office came out earlier than the state police did on the matter of alleged beating police in the Eastern Panhandle. That's not what this press conference is about, but I did wonder, I haven't seen you since then, and wondered your position and why you felt so strongly that you made the first statement about it.
Well, it's ridiculous. Tell you the honest truth, it's just plain ridiculous. It's inexcusable. You know, I mean, everybody has got to know, you know, I mean, I stand rock solid with our police force in every way, shape, form, or fashion, but I'm not going to stand rock solid with something that's wrong. That's all there is to it. I don't care what it is. I am not going to stand rock solid for that kind of stuff. You know, and what you had is a 16-year-old kid that did something that was just plain stupid, you know, and rammed into, I think, a sheriff's cruiser or whatever like that, and then took off. You know, and then you had the reaction of people that aren't 16. You know, they took the job. They took the job knowing that their behavior can't be 16. And then you had, in all honesty, you had way beyond necessary force. You had beating of a kid. And everybody here knows how I feel about kids. And kids make dumb mistakes. We have training of our state police and our people that we should not tolerate anything like that in any way, shape, form, or fashion, because you've got 600 plus great state policemen, and this made them look awful. That's all there is to it. And I'll promise you, to the Lord above, this governor's not going to stand for that crap. That's all there is to it. I can't say it any more point blank than just that. That is uncalled for, and that's why I spoke up first.
So you've looked at the videotape, Governor?
I have not seen the videotape. I have not seen it. But I have been told over and over and over by Jan Cahill and everybody else what is in every scene of the videotape.
We've been clamoring to see the video because we think the public might better understand what happened. Would you push for releasing that voluntarily and as soon as possible?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the legality is from the standpoint of, you know, everyone deserves a fair trial. You know, we don't need to be tried by the media or tried. I am all for complete transparency. I mean, I'd say I'd give it to you tomorrow, but I don't know what the legal ramifications are. It's just no, I mean, really and truly, from what I've been told, you know, it's just no excuse, period. Okay, thank y'all so much.